Did cars and driving influence rock and roll? Imagine cruising down a sun-soaked highway, the wind in your hair, and the sound of music blasting from the speakers. This vivid scene captures the essence of a cultural phenomenon that intertwines automobiles and rock and roll. But how did these two elements become so closely linked? In the 1950s, the rise of the automobile culture in the United States coincided with the emergence of rock and roll music. Cars became symbols of freedom and rebellion, appealing to the youth of that era. The open road represented an escape from the constraints of everyday life, and rock and roll provided the soundtrack to that journey. Songs about cars and driving began to populate the charts. Artists like Chuck Berry, with hits such as Maybelline, celebrated the thrill of driving and the excitement of car culture. This connection was not just superficial. It reflected the lifestyle and aspirations of young people who sought independence and adventure. The automobile industry also played a role in shaping the music scene. Car manufacturers recognized the influence of rock and roll on youth culture and began to market their vehicles using popular music. Advertisements featured catchy tunes and images of young people enjoying their cars, further solidifying the bond between music and automobiles. As rock and roll evolved through the decades, so did its relationship with cars. The 1960s saw the rise of surf rock, with bands like the Beach Boys singing about fast cars and carefree days at the beach. The imagery of cars in music videos and album covers became a staple, reinforcing the idea that driving was an integral part of the rock and roll lifestyle. In the 1970s and beyond, rock and roll continued to embrace the automobile. Songs like Fast Car by Tracy Chapman and Little Red Corvette by Prince highlighted the emotional connection people have with their vehicles. The themes of love, loss, and freedom intertwined with the experience of driving, creating a rich narrative that resonated with listeners. The influence of cars on rock and roll is evident not only in the lyrics but also in the culture surrounding the music. Car shows, drive-in theaters, and road trips became synonymous with the rock and roll experience, allowing fans to immerse themselves in the lifestyle that the music portrayed. In conclusion, the relationship between cars, driving, and rock and roll is a reflection of a broader cultural movement. The automobile became a symbol of freedom, adventure, and rebellion, while rock and roll provided the soundtrack to that journey. Together, they shaped a generation and left an indelible mark on music history.